Let's write a book. Hey love bugs, Taquanda Taylor here, and welcome back to my channel. It is a brand new year, you guys, and I've taken way too much time off from writing. So starting at the beginning of this year, I am going to start writing my third book, and I want you guys to come along with the journey, and hopefully you guys will start writing a book as well. So the first thing that we need to discuss is, what are we going to write about? That's obvious. What is the first story that we're going to write about? Now, I know for myself, and probably for a lot of you guys out there, you have a ton of story ideas swimming about in your head. So many different story ideas that you want to write about, and you just don't know where to start. Which story do I write? Why would I choose this one over that one? As you guys remember in the last video, I mentioned that my first book is part of a series called The Five Sisters, and my second book is part of a series called The Hood Diaries. Two completely different series started at different times, and I haven't written a second book for either of them yet. There is a reason to why those books were chosen, and those books were chosen completely by random. Every day, every week, every month, a new story idea pops up into my head, and I quickly either take out my phone, or if I'm near my computer, I just kind of type down a little bit of the information that just popped up for the story idea. A lot of times I do give my stories maybe a quick title, just so when I decide to go back to it, I know what it is referencing. If it's something about somebody falling in love, then I kind of do a quick little love title and then write it down. And then what I do is I write all of my titles down, even if they're a title that I'm not going to use once the book is going to come out. I take all of my titles and I write them down on a index card. Sorry. And then they go inside of this little old cracker jar. They all go in here. So you can see there's some change in there too, you guys. I kind of just dropped my change in there. But as you guys can see, there are a ton of different index cards inside of this jar right here. Some are written down by series. If there was a certain series that I thought of, then I titled the series quickly and folded it up and put it in here. And then some are, standalone books that I titled and then I dropped down in here. And then what I do when I'm ready to decide on what story I am going to write, I kind of just dig around in here, dig, 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 and then I pull one out and, take a look at it. And that's going to be, this is actually, you guys, so funny. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is for The Five Sisters. Am I bringing that series back? I don't know. But so I take out the title, and then I actually, you guys, I pull out 6 different titles one at a time. And this gives me a chance to sit and think about each title. So obviously I pull them out and I write each of the titles down. If it's for a series, then that series title gets thrown back into it, because obviously it's a series, it's ongoing. If it's a standalone, then I take that out. I kind of write it down. Actually, you guys, what I use is on my laptop, I have the little sticky notes. I have 6 of them open. And I will pull out a title and I'll type that down in one of the sticky notes. And then, like I said, if it's a series, then that series gets put back into my jar. And if it's a standalone, I type it down and then I get rid of it. Now, I'm going to write them in the order that they are selected out of the jar. But this gives me 6 ideas to mull over for however long it takes until I get to that story idea. So I'm not pulling out a title and then going, oh crap, what was this about? Now I got to write this. I got to figure out what it's about, and getting stumped. I pull them out and now I'm thinking in advance. So while I was working on my second book, I already had the third book, the fourth, fifth, sixth, and going on. So I already know what the third book is. My next book is a mystery slash thriller, so be on the lookout. The book is not going to share the title with you guys right now. I'm going to kind of keep that under wraps. But I take a look at that, and as I'm writing my second book, there may be some times where I may glance over to a third book, but because they're already, I'm sorry you guys, I just got a text. But because those titles are already sitting on my laptop while I'm writing, then it allows for my brain to not only think about and focus on the book that I'm writing on, but to also kind of jump to what the next book is. And if I get an idea, something will pop up. Because I daydream. I think most writers, when you're out, or maybe it's just me and my imagination, but when I'm out and about, like if I'm at work or if I'm driving, then I have stories playing in my head over and over and over. And a lot of times it's the book that I'm working on, and a lot of times it's a book that I want to work on. But I take those ideas and I jot them down so I don't forget them. I think in the shower, I think while I'm driving, I think while I'm at work, I think right when I'm trying to go to sleep. They're always playing in my head. So when I'm done with that one book, I have something to go off of for the second book, which will start me with thought dumping, outlining, and all that great stuff. And then I can move on to my next book. So that is how I choose my titles. The best way, or I heard someone say, when you choose a title for your book, it should be, or when you choose what story you're going to write, if you have a lot of them, it should be the one that you want to write. This gives me time to think about these story ideas, and the more that I think about them, the more I become invested in them, and the more I am eager to start writing them. So when I'm done with the one book, then I'm like, oh, I've got all these ideas for this next book, and that is a book that I want to write. So I'm going to jump into that. I, encourage you guys to go ahead and try this method out. Maybe share with me some of your ways of how you pick your next story idea. And we'll go from there, and we'll write our book in the new year. We'll work on our next book. So that is all I have for you guys today. Again, my name is Taquanda Taylor, and my first book, The Five Sisters, the first book in the Five Sisters series, Power, is still available for purchase on ebook, paperback, and signed copies. I am also still allowing everyone to read my second book, One Shot, Two Shots from the Hood Diaries, free on Wattpad. And you guys go ahead and follow me on Amazon for whenever a new book is released. And I'll leave all of those links below. And until next week, you guys, I love you. See you back next week, and Happy New Year. Oh, it's recording.